Ladies and gentlemen, this is DVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. For Ukraine, Thursday was another night of repelling Russian attacks. According to the country's military, the Kremlin forces attacked with 29 Shahed strike UAVs and 6 simulator drones of various types. Russian troops launched a drone strike on Volgograd in the Dnipro region. 1 man was killed, according to the head of the regional military administration. 2 more people were injured and they were treated on the spot. Ukrainian railways reported that the Russian military struck an electric locomotive in the Dnipro region. The driver was killed and his assistant was injured but in stable condition. The Zaporizhzhia region also came under attack. Ivan Fedorov, head of the regional military administration, said that the Russian troops struck with corrective aerial bombs hitting a residential area. The raid killed 1 man. Russian troops also struck the city of Chuguyev in the Kharkiv region. Now, according to local authorities, 4 people were wounded. In the southernmost region of Ukraine, in Kharkiv, a drone attacked the car of a chief rabbi of the city and the region. The rabbi and his family members were in the car and were not injured in the attack. The Russian Defense Ministry in turn said that night air defense systems intercepted and it destroyed 73 Ukrainian drones over Russian regions, including 3 flying towards Moscow. Now, there's no information about casualties or injuries so far. At the front line, the Russian army's breakthrough between Pokrovsk and Konstantinivka, north of Donetsk, is expanding. The Russian armed forces are advancing near the Kupyansk reservoir southwest of Konstantinivka, forcing Ukrainian troops to abandon their remaining positions in the outskirts of Toretsk. At the same time, the Russian army is trying to encircle the Pokrovsk agglomeration from the north. During combat operations in the Kupyansk sector, a fighter from the Bratstvo unit of the DIU's Timur Special Forces single-handedly held off an assault by enemy forces that outnumbered him 5-1. Now, in response to the Ukrainian soldiers' effective resistance, the occupier resorted to prohibited methods of warfare, using poison gas. The position was then hit with heavy mortar fire and FPV drone attacks. The soldier sustained multiple shrapnel wounds and poisoning by an unknown substance, causing him to temporarily pass out. Holding the position under these conditions became impossible, and the command made the only possible decision to evacuate the soldier. Now, despite the active threats from the enemy FPV drones, the evacuation team broke through to the wounded, and then pulled him out of the line of fire and then delivered him to a medical center. Now, thanks to the coordinated actions and high professionalism of the special forces, they not only held the position, but also pushed the enemy back.
Тихо! Тихо! Слава Ісусу Христу! Тихо! Твою мать! Тихо! Тихо, живий! Тихо, живий! Тихо, живий, дістаєм! Тримайте з рушниці небо, розсередину! Давай, давай! Небо, 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 з рушниці! Похуй на мішку, залочте так! Все! Їдем! Доставить погрузились, порушають, вже поняли!
Стан його.
Свідомості!
Раз, два, три. Оп. Привофондезитрон 8 мг, скитамін 25 мг, проростова 2 грама. Вена стоїть.
Чуєш мене? Ти чуєш мене, друже? Що, братан? Все буде чітко. Все у нас буде чітко. Перехвати. Тиск 160 на 120 в дорозі намірився. Доступ бачу на лівій руці, але катетер вийшов. Він контактний, реагує.
In the northern Donetsk region, day and night, deep in the woods and out in the open, where Russians believe that they're safe, death with a mortar strikes from the sky. Attack drones from the Ukrainian Alliance Division Assault Battalion of the 225th Separate Assault Regiment leave the enemy no chance to hide or escape. Ukrainian operators work with pinpoint precision, detecting targets, locking in, and taking them out one by one. Now, these are not random strikes, but deliberate and methodical operations that help keep the front line under Ukrainian control. In just the past 18 days, Alliance Division fighters have killed more than 140 Russian infantrymen and wounded roughly the same number. A video from the helmet camera of a Ukrainian soldier captures tense and dramatic moments on the front line. After a lightning-fast and successful clearing of an enemy assembly point by a Ukrainian Armed Forces reconnaissance group, Russian troops launched heavy mortar fire on the liberated area. The events unfolded near the village of Novotoretsky in the Donetsk region, one of the hottest zones in the front line. Now, despite the unit's effective actions, one of the group's fighters and several members of unit located nearby were injured in the attack. The footage shows both the professional, close combat fighting of Ukrainian troops and the constant danger that they face, even after a mission is successfully completed.
Братик, залезь до меня трохи. Послухай. Я тебе допоможу. Сука, я все на себе прийняв. Я думав, сліп нахуй. Я все на себе прийняв, я в ході стояв. Давай, наш братач, можешь? Я думал, уже умер. Тихо, парни. Ебало сила, man. Тоже грязно. Як нас отсюда буде евакуація робити? Работать, кажуть, работать. Прийду, буду комбату їбало бить. Давай мій ногу. Затніс трохи до мене, мов. На братанчик, давай до мене. Пост. Пацаны, завезите меня домой. Кто не хуярит? Кто пиздует? Я не знаю. Я тоже можу понять. Непонятно, куда вони пиздують. Перебило трошки. Ага. Нічого, нормально. Марат, Бостон на зв'язку. Сука, до кості, бач? Ага.
Бостон, у вас є можливість пересуватися групою на Бойківку?
Нема. Вони криють. Нема. Нас тут пиздують, не можемо з місця двинутися. У нас Мірка з ногою, він не ходячий. Слухай, магазин проїбав.
Тоді надавайте всім допомогу, чи ми вирішуємо, як вас витягнути, як прийняв.
Парні, давайте швидше, поки Пєцького витягують. Швидше, поки...
And with that, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.